What's going on, guys? Biomechanic here again. Thank you very much for watching. And today I'm going to show you neck mobility advanced stages, where we're actually going to be using now a resistance band and other positions of the neck that we can focus on. So in the beginner's video, we would focus on protraction, retraction, lateral side bending, rotations. We also focused on gliding, and we also got into the neck infinity signs and the gliding. Very basic movements, and if you feel like you've gotten them down correctly and you actually focus on some speed work, meaning if you're not just doing them all very slowly, if you're able to do them faster, that means you already are good enough to progress into some resistance for more advanced positions and advanced resistance on these exercises. So what we're going to do now is, again, protraction, retraction with the use of a band. So I have a Monster band. I have a red one here. Don't remember the specific poundages on this, but all I know is that it feels quite hard for my neck, but that's what we want. We want to build some strength here. So what I would do is I would put the band behind my neck from here, and I would pull on both ends. And as I pull on both ends, I just keep my hand steady, and then my head will go forward and back. So you do the same thing, protractions, retractions. And like I said on the previous exercise for beginners, that if you do a specific drill such as this one, test yourself out before you go on to the next movement. For example, if you know that your squat feels very stiff, if your lower back feels very stiff and a little bit painful, perform the specific movement, protraction, retraction, 5 reps, and then see if that got better. If it got better, continue on with the next exercise that I'll be showing you. So every drill you perform, constantly retest yourself. See how your squat feels. See how your arms might be feeling a little looser. Test your own range of motion out, or your own athletic activity that you want to improve on, and you might notice some changes. It might feel easier, but it might feel harder. If it feels harder, do not perform the specific movement you did prior to that. That means your body or your brain didn't actually like it yet. So from here, as we went on to protraction, retraction, now I'm going to incorporate a combination, a lateral side bend with protraction, retraction. So I would go band behind the head again. I will pull on both ends. I will side bend my head to the left, and I will go protract and retract. Protract, retract. I will usually feel a stretch on the right side of my neck and a little tightness on my left. Protract, retract, and again, remember, we want long motions, so as long as possible on the neck, and retract as much as possible. Again, perform your activity, the one that makes you feel a little bit painful, such as bending over, see how your squat feels. If those feel better, then move on into right side bending. You'll see that if you do a right side bending move, you either might feel better or you might feel worse. So if you feel worse, do not do that specific side that you did. If you felt better, let's say for when you did the exercise on your left, and you felt amazing, your squat improved a lot more, your depth, you're able to bend over a lot more comfortably, but you feel stiffer when you do it on the right side, that means don't do it on the right side yet. That it goes the same for every other exercise that I will show you here today. So again, I will do my right side bending, head forward, head back, forward, head back. So that will be a combination of lateral side bending with protraction, retraction. Now we're going to do rotations with protraction, retraction. So if I were to rotate my head all the way as far as to my left, I would protract, retract, protract, retract. The same thing now occurs if I have the band behind my head, and I would turn my arms, not my upper body, so make sure you're not turning the upper body this way. Keep the upper body stable, but bring both your hands here and your head together. Protract, retract. And I will do the same exact thing to the right side. And I cannot stress this enough, please test yourself out before you move on to the next drill, just so you make sure that you stay clear from any non-threatening sides. Non-threatening meaning, if you do a specific drill and your response got tighter, meaning your neck feels tighter, your squat feels like crap, your lower back pain came back again, that means you're just not ready to do that exercise. So that was threatening to your brain. You want to stay with the ones that give you good responses. After we do rotations with protraction and retraction, then we can actually do gliding with a resistance band. So if I were to do a neutral neck glide, I can actually put the band around my head, kind of like a crown, and I would pull to one side of my head, and I would go here and here. And then from here, we can actually go into gliding with lateral side bending. So if I were to laterally side bend my head to my left, I can actually glide in this position. And then I can also use a resistance band at the same time. And this one, as your head will be tilted to your left, the band will be pulling from on top over here. So ear down to the shoulder, the opposite ear up to the ceiling. Ear to the shoulder and opposite to the ceiling. So here now we're strengthening different muscles on this left side of the neck. Also on the right side too, but mostly on the left side. So gliding in positions other than neutral, now doing it now in a side bend position. You can actually do it with some rotational work as well. But advanced movements to me is if you could combine movements together using resistance. Either you can go heavier, you can go lighter with this. So I would go very slow in the beginning. Do not focus on doing these movements very fast. One set of 5 reps for each exercise will be great. Just make sure that you stick to the ones that actually give you a very good response. So if you do things on your left side, you do about 5 reps there, check yourself out. Then if you do another 5 reps on the other side and you got stiffer, stay away from that side. It can happen either to the left or the right side. But if you feel like you're awesome at this, you're feeling great with every one of them, do every one of them as frequently as you can throughout the day. So there's really no limit to how many times you should do this throughout the day. The more, the better. But if you're a beginner or if this is your first time actually using resistance bands, see if you can blast out 5, maybe 6 sets throughout the entire day. So that means 1 set now, 1 set after about an hour or 2, another set after about an hour or 2. You want to give your brain's ability to understand that these exercises are important and that you have to maintain that strength, that flexibility, and that mobility 24/7 in order for your brain to mend this whole new information, which is called neuroplasticity. So give this a shot, guys. Practice now with resistance bands, a little more advanced now, in different positions. Your neck should be able to do all these exercises, all these movements, because again, we need all this available cervical range of motion to protect us from any further arthritis or any other injuries such as herniated discs or bulging discs. So neck mobility is very, very crucial, guys. If you have not done your beginners exercises first, I highly recommend you see that video first. Make sure you perform all the movements correctly before you move on into these advanced exercises. So take it away, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be seeing you soon.